Have you ever experienced anxiety as a research scholar? I'm sure you have. I have in my first year. Here in our institute, there are several floors. So sometimes I used to go and sit on the top floor alone, try to be with my feelings and be there. I don't know if I'm the only one to do this, so tell me in the comments if this resonates with you. Everyone experiences anxiety, but today's video is specific to people who are pursuing high academic careers such as PhD or any kind of career where there is uncertainty. So what is anxiety? It's nothing but excessive, persistent and intense fear and worry about everyday situations. The symptoms could vary from increased heart rate, palpitations, sweating, numbness, etc. Sometimes in case of excessive worry, your body temperature rises. You feel it is a fever, you feel feverish, but actually it is a psychological fever. For me personally, my adolescent years also have given a lot of anxiety because there were several things that I was dealing with, personal as well as at my school level. As far as PhD is concerned, speaking to certain people in my lab also gave me anxiety, and I tried my best to avoid it. That may not be the best option or a good option, and I don't suggest to avoid situations if you have anxiety, but when you are in such kind of situations, you tend to do all that. So today's video would be about that and how you can heal yourself, knowing one thing, that anxiety will never go away. Everyone experiences it. I was just speaking about anxiety to one of my colleagues, somebody whom I know. He made a statement that he doesn't have anxiety. Now here is the truth. Everyone experiences anxiety. The question is not whether you have anxiety or no. It's a matter of awareness, whether you are aware of it or no. Because if you are aware of it, you can work and shift your routines in such a way that it works in your favor rather than it works against you. So today's video would be about that. So what are we waiting for? Without further ado, let's begin. Now we are going to list few situations which will give rise to anxiety. So you can check which group you fit into. One type is panic. Panic is different from anxiety. Anxiety is more of constant fear, constant worrying. Panic is a response to a subconscious stress wherein you get sudden palpitations or you kind of get choked. So if anxiety is not managed properly, then it can lead to panic attacks. If you have an excessive fear, I have seen some people who have excess fear of flight, people who have excess fear of heights. And this is not, when it comes to phobia, it is not a regular fear. Given an option, somebody might prefer to stay on the ground rather than go at the top. But phobia is where you cannot go on top, where you cannot face the heights. There are people who have fear and still do it. So extreme fear of being judged by others in social situations, feeling awkward, that comes under social anxiety. I recently came across many posts online saying, what if my loved one goes away? What if the person near to me dies? These kinds of questions stem from something called as separation anxiety. All of us want to be around loved ones, but if the anxiety of being separated from your loved one, when the loved one is already there with you, if that is happening, then it comes under separation anxiety. If you have got any kind of illness, then your mind is already on the lookout that you may not get further illness. Like, because of this work and my interest into mental health and related practices, I get to speak to mental health practitioners. I follow a lot of their pages, I research online. One therapist actually told me that she had a patient who had got COVID, and it was a severe one, the first wave that we had. And after that, even for going for vaccination, she used to have that constant fear that even the vaccine would give rise to COVID. Kind of anxiety is related to particular illness. And if you have certain conditions, if you have deficiency, say suppose of vitamin D, then that can also predispose you to anxiety, depression and all that. That is the reason sunlight is so important. Its role in the prevention of depression, okay, as well as the cure is well documented. You can read about it online. Vitamin D plays a major role in that. Now that we have gone through this, how do you manage it? How did I manage my anxiety? I've read a book about anxiety. I'll try to recall the name and put the title over here. One thing that was said very vehemently in that book was, do not try to find the cause of your anxiety. Why am I like this? What made me like this? I'm feeling so ashamed. So don't try to find the cause of it. Everyone has anxiety. If you have it in little bit of excess, then that is also part of the game, because anxiety sometimes makes you overthink, and sometimes it makes you achieve also more. You can get to know the situation beforehand, okay? You tend to overthink and can understand the negative repercussions before others. And there is a reason why I'm telling this, because it gives a signal to your brain that you are not accepting yourself. Which brings me to the next point. We have our personalities, and all our personalities are unique. Now, if I have a particular trait, say suppose getting embarrassed or something, bad performance or anything, if I don't accept it as the whole self, as it is a part of me, that means I am rejecting it. When you reject a part of yourself, that is the source of all your anxiety. Whether it be your professional failures or some kind of relationship failures, unless you accept it, okay? And how does acceptance come? With lot of introspection, with meditation and all that. Even if you have failed in something, it was you. That same you has helped you in succeeding in your other goals. Sometimes there is something that doesn't go your way. Don't reject it mentally. You have nothing to be ashamed or embarrassed about. We are often told to be kind to others, be forgiving to others. But the person who suffers the most is ourselves. So if I have one person who is like me, the person constantly hits at her for being anxious and all, and if these two people are in relationship, then obviously there would be a breakup. That is the level of negative self-talk we have with ourselves. One thing that has helped me immensely in this is mirror work. Okay, I have done a detailed video on mirror work. One more thing which I want to get over here is self-awareness. Okay, what is self-awareness? Self-awareness means knowing what triggers you, what doesn't trigger you, what are your likes and what are your dislikes. And these you get to know through meditation. Okay, there is no other way. There is one school of thought where there are a lot of chantings happening, because of whichever religious scriptures. There are a lot of rituals which are conducted. But if you have to build on self-awareness, then there is only one thing that can help, and that is meditation. All the things, rest will play a role, will aid in that. But the key to self-awareness is meditative. Also, we often associate our achievements with our self-identity. So if, say suppose there is an exam, you fail in that, it's the failure in the exam with respect to that event. That doesn't mean you have failed. What we do is we subconsciously tie these two things, and then we don't know what to do when there is a failure. We get over the top when there is success. If there are few things that are bothering you, none of this is helping. Meditation, you are not able to concentrate. You are not able to say affirmations. You are altogether demotivated in life. Then the thing to do is to take therapy. I have done extensive video on this. If you're going for the therapy first time, what you can do and how you have to do. There were stages where I was doing all these things and still things were not working out. My triggers were somehow subconsciously setting in every now and then. Say suppose you are getting angry without reason, or there are few things you feel that you need to work on, but you are not able to put your finger on where and how. So that your therapist will help you. There are no two ways about it. Another thing is avoiding sugar. You are struggling with these kinds of thoughts, excessive worry, excessive fear. Then your first line of defense would be nutrition and workout. Okay, stop sugar for around 7 days, see how it works. Anxiety thrives in vagueness. What I mean by that is whenever there is uncertainty. So for example, if you are a research scholar, you are about to have a meeting with your supervisor, that sets in the anxiety. You have a presentation and some report or any presentation you are presenting at the conference or anything, that sets in the anxiety. So the best way to work around this is get the variables in your control. Okay, what I mean by that is be very prepared when you are giving the presentation. So from your side, your mind knows that the work has been done. Then secondly, aligning your routines to your anxious behavior. Whatever you are going to do tomorrow, you need to have a plan today by evening, what all things would be executed tomorrow. That would give you the control which is required to combat anxiety. Anxiety is nothing but it's excess worry, and the more you are uncertain about things, the more it will increase. Align your routines according to your behavior or to your personality. I have read a ton of books on mental health and these topics. One book that I would suggest is Anxiety by Sonali Gupta. If you are a beginner into this space of mental health and this, if you are an advanced reader, then I would suggest this book. It will help you to get into the nuances of anxiety and how things work along the lines. So these are two book recommendations that I would like to give. One thing I would like to say is you don't need to change or be somebody else or be to another level to accept yourself. You don't need to be somebody else and achieve more for your anxiety to go away. You don't need to be a superman or a superwoman. You are just okay the way you are. You are enough. And these two things, if they get into your subconscious and if the belief systems become very strong, then there is no way that anyone can stop you from achieving your goals. I hope you have found today's video useful. Till the next time.